Jönköping at DreamHack Summer. I keep trying to say it better and better, but
you're doing great.
I think I keep messing it up even more as time goes by. We're here, of course, in the middle of a best of 3. Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Burning United. Ninjas in Pajamas winning the first game. Now, for me, the first game, at some point, there was a 5-minute fight, at which point Ninjas in Pajamas took their first tower, and it was just a ring around a rosy, and everybody died on the side of Burden, and I thought, well, NiP got this.
Yes.
Then about 10 minutes later, all the tier 1 towers were dead on the side of Burden United, and then NiP stopped pushing, so I figured, oh, Burden got the chance.
Honestly, I went to the toilet and I came back, and I was like, how were Burden doing so well? You know, I saw the draft and I saw the team fight, and I was like, surely NiP are just going to punish them. I think the thing for me in that game was the Roshan fights. You know, you have a Tombstone and you have a Pugna ward, and when you have both of them on the high ground, it's pretty difficult to fight a Roshan, you know what I mean?
Yep.
How much throw would you guys say was involved in this game?
I'm not sure if it can be considered throw, because I mean the caster said it as well. The coordination in the fights, it was just not there. It was just lacking. And for the last fight, the last few minutes of the game, Burning United, I mean, we're talking about, it wasn't the Symphony of Skills. What did you say? Something weird. The meant Symphony of Skills. It wasn't there. There was no coordination.
Spells come together.
When spells come together.
Except spells did not come together.
And it's a Z at the end of spells.
So
Spells, yes.
This is the second time that Burning United has lost to the strat, but I felt that they were very well adjusted to it. There were a couple of things. For example, they picked Tree and Protector, which for mid to late game, if you don't knock down a tower, it'll get healed back up significantly.
Yeah.
The other thing was that Leshrac went for straight BKB, and the Weaver went for straight BKB. The problem I had with them is not the item choice, but the fact that they try to go for BKBs and also participate in fights, protecting like an early tier 1 tower as well as the first Roshan.
Yeah.
Syndra made a point where it's like, maybe you just give up the Rosh, which sounds pretty bad on paper, but in that particular game, once you get the BKB, and if you get it early, you are immortal.
Yeah.
And I believe it was the right choice to just give up the Roshan and perhaps a T1 tower just to secure your farm. I think Leshrac and Weaver had died. Leshrac died twice before he finished his BKB, and same thing with Weaver. Especially with Weaver, he's one of those heroes that, okay, you get a BKB, you could fight, but you also don't do any damage. So you need a BKB and then another damage item afterwards.
Yeah, you need the space afterwards.
Right, so all the time they wasted really cost them a lot of the mid and late game.
There was a few stages in the game though when they were split pushing on Leshrac and doing the right thing. You know, NiP are grouped up as 5. They're gonna like start to lose experience if you split push with Sing Sing and Necroman. Like they were doing great. It's just I honestly think it was a lot down to the Roshan fights and like forcing the fights when maybe you were out of position or you shouldn't have.
I think what you saw in that game was just a lot of the different team members of Burning United were on different pages. You had Come With Me, which by the way had an amazing Rubik game, had a lot of spectacular solo plays, but he's also the guy that buybacks repeatedly on a Rubik. His team is dead, he buys back, and then what is he really doing, right, with a buyback? He would go in when his team is behind, or his teammates would go in when he's a little bit further out. And that's kind of what I mean about like they're on different page.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So
I think if they come together and spells come together, they would have easily taken that game. Because they had the right draft, they played it well early on, but you know, you mess up 1 or 2 Rosh fights.
I honestly think Come With Me was one of the reasons they stayed in the game so long. Like his just disruptive play in general. Yeah. Like he was stealing ward, he was stealing refraction and blinking away and like causing them to use a lot of spells on it, like committing a lot.
Well, talking about so many Rosh fights, has been mentioned a lot. I think there's one selected for the drawing board with Chainalytics.
Welcome to the drawing board. So I have chosen a Roshan fight, you're correct.
Yay.
And the one I've chosen is basically, all right, let's go in here and have a look. This has a lot to do with, again, this Tombstone. Having it on the high ground and like it's impossible to get. Are you gonna try and draw? I wouldn't do that. Oh, we have Martins on our screen again. All right, Leshrac at the start of his team fight goes for the regen rune and immediately gets blown up by Templar Assassin. Like he pounces on that opportunity straight away. And then look at, this is beautiful, like Seal Kid gets this amazing ulti off. And then the wall here, this wall, like look at this wall. And Burden start panicking and they try and escape, but you can't escape the wall. Like, look, the zombies just keep piling up, and
Not the actual Dark Tier
I was
wall.
gonna say that, like, the wall is on their side and
No.
it's kind of misplaced, maybe slightly.
force field.
Yeah, I think he meant the other, the metaphoric wall, not the literal wall.
That's the one that you can't pass through. This is just like a laser beam show. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Laser beam show.
On the side. Because the wall was kind of, misplaced. But let's, get all that aside. That was game one. They're experienced players. They can bounce back. How are they going to bounce back?
This is a lot what happened to Burden earlier in the
Yeah.
like they got the Pugna Undying opener.
But that was not a best of 3.
No, but you can't. I think if you lost it twice, you need to obviously deal with it.
No,
like
they know how to deal with it. The draft, the
Yeah.
early game Adam choice. If they play this game 100 times, I think they will win it more than they have lost it.
Really?
Yes.
For Burden.
Burden, yes.
Ah.
They just botched up 1 or 2 fights. I'm sure they are very regretful about it.
I don't know. I think when you're playing against a draft like that, even if you make one mistake in a team fight, because they can push so aggressively, that it's kind of one of them lineups that punish you so quickly.
I think Burden made a ton of mistakes early on. Like, remember when Sing Sing got solo killed by a puck,
Yeah.
level 4 or 5? That shouldn't happen. That delayed his farm, but at the mid game, they were winning. They were still winning despite the late
True.
BKBs. I think, again, I honestly say this, if they play this same draft, same game, they will win more than they lost. But
didn't they get outplayed in the fight?
yes,
And
they
wouldn't
did. They
that
got
be-
outplayed really hard in the
Wouldn't
fights.
that be the case in all of the games if you're playing 100?
I mean, I think they're great enough players.
I don't think they want to play 100 games, to be honest.
No, I think they're great enough players where if they play enough games, the spells will come together. And I expect spells to come together at game 2.
This is going to become a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like a new YouTube series.
Oh, we also have a series where we're going to walk around DreamHack with cameras.
Oh yeah, this is the
and
posture series.
point at a posture series. Point a kiss.
Yeah. And
be
if they're slouching or anything,
you're not sitting straight.
Okay, hold on.
I have a nice addition. I'm going to get one of those high-power American cop flashlights.
Yeah.
And they're sitting poorly, just like point it at their eyes, the beam, right?
Are you not gonna have a stick and poke them in their back so that they have to like?
No, because it's like
That's a little like physical, you know.
yeah,
it's
we
like-
have to be annoying, but in a nice way.
You can't get sued.
No,
Yeah.
just really high-powered flashlights in their eyes.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're actually gonna head into our second game here. You both said 2-1 in favor of Ninjas in Pajamas. So in that case, Birdie
Well,
United would have to win the.
The thing is, that was Burden's game to win, so I'm not even sure if it's 2-1
do you,
anymore.
like, I'm gonna give you the chance here. Do you wanna revise
Lumi?
your prediction?
Still 2-1, but very begrudgingly.
I'm gonna stick with it as well. I honestly think Burden can come back with it. Like they've shown in the past, they have these kind of strange drafts that they can pull out and they can surprise people with them. So I honestly think that Burden can take a game, if not even the next one as well.
Well, their draft starts out pretty strong, but there are 2 guys that can tell you all about the draft. It is time for a second game. Birdie United taking on Ninjas in Pajamas with Cinderin and Odie Pixel.